All right, guys, welcome back to another Real Talk episode. Today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite guns in my collection from all different calibers. We're going to skip the pistols for now, stick to rifles mainly, but before we get into that and start to go through all the different guns and the setups and whatnot, I first have to address the elephant in the room, which is clearly the room. We have a different studio set up thanks to Hold Up Displays. They did send me out this gun wall right here, their slat wall. It's absolutely incredible. We're gonna have a full review video on it actually, so we'll go through and show you more detail during that review. But today you'll see me. I'm gonna go back and forth, grab things off the wall, put them back. It's a really slick setup, and I'm very grateful that they sent it out. So, and I think it turned out pretty great. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about the lighting, the camera angles, the colors. We have some LEDs up, so we can really change that to whatever color I want. But I think the blue really looks good. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And with that being said, if you guys do want to support the channel, rangedaybro.com for all of our merch. We have the All My Internet Friends Are Feds shirts. We have all kinds of really cool shirts over there. So if you guys are interested in picking up some merch, we also have our discounts page, all of our discounts. Our biggest sponsor of the channel is Brownell, so RDB10 saves you guys 10% off of 150 dinero or more. And it's unlimited. You could reuse it, you could share it with your friends. So, use it as much as you want, save some money, and support the channel at the same time. So thank you to everyone who does that. There's a ton of other discount codes and links over there on the discounts page. We also have a loadouts page where a lot of these guns we're gonna be talking about today will be featured. So as we go through these parts, if you guys want links to specific parts, we can't do that here on YouTube, but you can find it over at rangedaybro.com. So thank you guys for supporting the channel. Make sure you subscribe to our email list while you're over there. And then all the other things, follow me on Rumble, follow me on X, IG, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much. So we're going to start off with the gun that I've had the most time with lately, and I think it's going to come as no surprise to any of you guys. So we'll start off with the 12.5 Super Duty from Guesley. This guy right here is been getting a lot of screen time on the channel, and for good reason. It's an absolutely phenomenal rifle. As you guys can tell, we have a little bit of a different muzzle device set up on here. This is just really a thread protector more than anything. We have the Surefire 3-prong on here because the Ferox is living on another gun, which we'll talk about here in a second because it is also one of my favorites. And so, yeah, typically this is just running a Ferox direct threaded. However, if there was one thing I'm going to change moving forward, as much as I love a direct threaded can because it reduces the size and the weight of the can dramatically, I still have issues with them backing off under very high round counts, and using the FRT trigger, which this guy is sporting, it gets very hot and it tends to back off slightly, which I've never had any issues with it with a baffle strike or anything like that, but just something to keep in mind. And I think the rear and muzzle devices are a great solution for that, keeping the can relatively lightweight and keeping it pretty close to the gun. Unlike something like a Chemo muzzle device, which previously I had all Chemo muzzle devices on most of my guns, but this thing itself weighs like 6 ounces or something crazy. I forget how much it weighs, but it's heavy, it's expensive, it's like 250 bucks when you could find them. And there tends to be sometimes, not all the time, sometimes tolerance issues with these, and you could lead to baffle strikes. And so a lot of suppressor companies won't even warranty Chemo stuff anymore. But it's kind of, it was the best for its time, and things have just gotten a little bit better in my opinion. So that's what we're going to do. Surefire, nothing wrong with it. Again, old technology, but it still works, and we'll talk about that here in a second. There's a gun today that just snuck into the list that was sporting the RC2, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the Super Duty 12.5, phenomenal gun. Yeah, it's a carbine length gas system, so it's not quite as smooth as something that's shooting with a mid-length gas system, but it's going to run. The FRT trigger has, which we're doing a full review on here shortly, so I'm not going to give too much away, but we have a pretty substantial high round count, or at least for my channel, 1,500 rounds through the FRT trigger in this 12.5 with 0 malfunctions. And before that, we had a Guesley trigger in this, and obviously didn't have any issues with that either. So the most reliable AR besides the Mark 18 I've ever run. It's kind of reliability is the baseline. If it's not reliable, I'm not going to run it. It's not going to be part of my collection. It's going to get sold, literally. So I really love the 12.5 Super Duty. I think it's a great balance and a great GPR type gun, depending on the way you set it up. Again, this is their 11.5 Mark 16 rail or Super Duty rail. I don't know if it's technically a Mark 16 because it doesn't have the tabs here on the top or bottom. It has the HK style male to female connection. So I don't know if it's technically a Mark 16. And Samsung Manufacturing vertical grip. We have a little pick section up here for tripod work or a bipod if I really wanted to. We have the Attacker 1 to 8 on here in the tan, obviously, because what other color would it be in? Badger Condition 1 mount with a top-mounted RMR, 100 Concepts ARDs on both. And then, yeah, just some random stuff like a backup iron sight. Probably gonna pull that off because this is not a QD. This is not a QD optic mount. So probably gonna pull that off and put it on another gun that has an EOTech or something that's more likely to need it. If this attacker goes down, it's gonna be a really bad day. But anyways, FRT trigger, Delta Team Tactical, 3-position FRT, which again, we're having a full review on. HRF Concepts Magwell, Guesley A17 grip. I really love this grip aesthetically, but also it's grown on me quite a bit as far as how it actually feels. It's a little skinny compared to the K2, which is kind of like the gold standard for me as far as actual comfort. But aesthetically, I like it a little bit better. But again, it's grown on me a lot. I like the texturing on it. And then a Gunfighter stock. We are running a braided buffer wire spring and an H3 buffer weight in here. So with the Ferox on here, it does run a little overgassed. But again, this was the dirtiest gun. I've never had a gun dirtier than this gun was after we ran 1,500 rounds, all suppressed, all on FRT mode with this upper. And the sludge was pretty insane. It was like a solid 1/8 of an inch of sludge. Maybe a little bit less, maybe like 3 or 4 millimeters, but it was the dirtiest I've ever seen a gun. It took me like 2.5 hours to clean it. Just the upper, the lower was a whole nother day because I spent so much time needing to clean the upper, and it just kept on chugging through. We do have a Maritime bolt catch on this side, bolt release, if you guys can see it. And I think that pretty much covers this guy. So we'll go ahead and put it back and we'll move on to the next rifle in the build. So let's think here. I'm gonna try to be really selective because there's so many rifles that I just really love. Obviously, honorable mention. You know, let's just throw it in here. We'll throw in the honorable mention for the 11.5 Super Duty. Again, all the same reasons I love the 12.5. The reason I love the 11.5. It's great. It's just after running the 12.5 for so long, it's just a little bit short, especially with the LPVO, as far as like having real estate to put attachments on here. It just gets a little bit short. So love it though. Let's get the Polonium K on here. Great can. And, you know, a little gassy, but again, reliability is king in my world. So that one's a really cool gun. And then we'll just move on. Again, I'm being very, very picky about what I'm selecting here because obviously I love all of these because if I didn't, I wouldn't have spent my money on them or put my time into them. But we're going to have to go with the Sig Spear LT because as of late, we have it running now with the FRT L3 as well. So this is the actual trigger that originally started in the Super Duty. I swapped it over to this guy because I'm very impatient before the other trigger came in. And so this trigger itself actually has over 1,500 rounds on it. In the last like 250, 300 rounds were on the Spear LT as they sit. So Midnight Machine trip bar makes that possible. Can't really get into details on YouTube, but essentially because this is a bufferless short stroke gas piston system, it doesn't have a typical AR-15, you know, full auto BCG. So you need something to actually alert or notify, for lack of a better term, the FRT trigger when the bolt has, you know, come fully home into battery, so it can then allow you to re-engage the trigger and pull it again. But this thing, absolutely, I mean, just a really fun, smooth shooting gun with the FRT. And now that we have the Ferox on here, as I mentioned earlier, I kind of teased to that. The first time we ran the FRT with this gun, it had the RC2 on it, and it was definitely overgassed. It was running at a rate that would be unsustainable for a long period of time. It was definitely going to burn itself out. It was running way too fast. So we put the Ferox on here. We actually have the direct thread taper adapter on here. So the SIG barrels are tapered. So what that does is it allows you to have a direct thread mount, but also have a taper lockup. So you're not going to have to worry. So just like a rear muzzle device, just like a Cherry Bomb or a Plan B, it allows you to have that taper lockup, so it's not going to back off under high rates of fire, but you don't have a muzzle device, and it's as far back and as lightweight as the can's ever going to be, really. So I really love that Energetic offers these, which is really cool. You don't have, and they're hub compatible, so you can put them on any can you want. You can put on the Polonium K, you can put them on literally any can that is Bravo hub compatible. So I really love that. And full disclaimer, I do work for Energetic, but I don't have to talk about them in my videos. I just absolutely love the Ferox. And again, the direct thread taper adapter, if you have a Spear or you have any gun that has a taper barrel, you can use these on your gun as well. And it just will keep it as lightweight and as close to you as possible, because this is already a pretty front heavy gun, especially once you start adding all the attachments on it. It gets a little heavy out there. So if you add a muzzle device and it's sitting up, even a ½ inch makes a difference. So I'm just been really loving this. And since we switched from the RC2 to the Ferox, this thing ran really, really good. I mean, it slowed it down just enough. It's kind of right where you want it to be, in my opinion. So I'm a big fan of this can, and especially on this setup. The short stroke gas piston guns are made for short barreled, suppressed, high rates of fire. So that's what we have here now with the FRT, which is an amazing feat of engineering. So I'm a huge fan of the capability that this thing unlocks for the civilian market. Besides that, we'll talk about it real quick. So Ferox already discussed. It has an expansion chamber. Maybe we should do a full video. If you guys want to see a full review on the Ferox, because I now have, between this one and the demo one that I have from Energetic, I probably have around 6,000 rounds on the Ferox itself. So, and a lot of that, most of that's in FRT mode. So this is definitely a full auto rated can. It has a little expansion chamber. If you guys want to see a full review on it, let me know in the comments below. But we have a Surefire Scout Vampire light on here. So it's got white light and IR. We have 100 Concepts ruggedized light cap to stop you, prevent you from NDing if you don't intend to. We have, again, stock, everything stock on the Spear LT besides the trip bar, which we talked about, Midnight Machine, and the trip bar interacts with the FRT. And besides that, the trigger itself, like all the internals are completely stock. So Sam's Manufacturing vertical foregrip. We have some rail scale panels on here. We have a pick section, again, for tripod work. That's what all those pick sections are on my guns, is for a tripod. I love doing tripod work, and shooting at the long range using a tripod is like a game changer. We have a Steiner CQBL on here. This guy, I don't know if Steiner still makes these or not, but it's a really cool little IR laser. It's not an illuminator, it's just a laser. That's what the Vampire's for, the illumination part. We have a Unity hot button. I forget what these are called, actually. I don't think they're called hot buttons, but I don't think they make these anymore either. So it's a little Unity button on there. I really like that. And then Magpul, again, one of the biggest downfalls of the Spear handguard, but the way it mounts up is there's actually a little rail right here. So this is the handguard, comes all the way back here. It splits up here somewhere in the top rail, can't really see it, but this slides on right here. So you can't put a QD pocket anywhere up here. I guess they could technically put one down here, but that's not where I'd run it anyways. So I put that little QD slot up there. We have the Unity fast riser. So EOTech on a Unity fast riser with a flip to center magnifier. This is the G45, so 5X magnifier, 100 Concepts ARD, HRF Concepts, little cover to protect your windage, your centering knobs. They're not really zeroing knobs, but HRF Concepts looks really good, feels really good. I like those. Obviously, considering we have the magwell as well. These are cheat code, especially with night vision. The magwells are amazing. We have a Magpul T-Mag, so they're transparent mag. Looks really cool. Have yet to actually test it, but it looks cool. So I'm sure they work. It's from Magpul. But yeah, we're going to definitely be testing that. And then in the back, we already talked about the FRT-L3. In the back, we have the Sam's Manufacturing bufferless receiver extension, which is my favorite 1913 stock right now. I actually like it, I don't want to say better than the SAS. I'll show you guys the SAS. It's right here. The SAS is great. The only problem with the SAS is it's actually pretty long as it sits. Like you can't make it any shorter. You can make it longer, and it's got toolless adjustments, which is great. For proned out work, with a bolt gun or something, that's awesome. But it's fairly long as it sits all the way collapsed. And I'm not saying it's too long, but I like to run my stock in just a little bit. And this is like one click in closer than the SAS stock can get. So I've noticed this about myself, especially with shorter guns. I like to run the stock in a little bit. So in that, we have the BRE on here. And it's just a great little bufferless receiver extension, so you can put whatever AR stock you want on the rifle. So it folds down, it's got a button, you push right here, fold it down nice, and it actually hugs the gun extremely tightly there. There's literally no gap. There is no retention, so if you shake it hard enough, it will come out if that's a big deal to you, but there's also zero play, zero wiggle in that joint there. It's extremely solid. I love it. CTR stock with a little modified cheek riser here so that I can access my charging handle, because otherwise before it like came to here and I had to, I would have had to run the stock out further, which would have defeated the purpose of the BRE. And that's pretty much it for this, guys. Breaking a little sweat because the AC does not like really pump into this room when I have the door closed. So, and I'm holding these guns up, so don't make fun of me in the comments, or do, either way. I probably deserve it. So there's that setup there. Next on my list, I want to talk about some some large frames. Let's just skip to this one because this is probably the cool, like just straight cool factor. This gun probably wins right here. So we have a full review coming out on this thing very shortly. This is the DS Arms FAL. So it's actually the FAL OSW. It's a 12-inch. We have the sling wrapped up for looking pretty on the wall. But this is an 11-inch 308. And it encapsulates the true meaning of that catchphrase, the 308. This thing is an absolute flamethrower, thumper, whatever you want to call it. Is it practical? No. Is it the most accurate? No. Is it the best option for the money? No. But is it the coolest gun at the range when you pull up? 1,000%. This is a factory SBR. You roll up with this at an indoor range, everyone's going to hate you, but also love you. The Energetic Armament Vox K2 was like the little suppressor that could on this gun when we were reviewing it. Again, I'm still working on editing it, but this gun with that can was still spitting huge fireballs. We had it on the we had it direct threaded for the review, and then I put a rear muzzle device on here, but then it got moved recently because of a review. You guys know how it is, musical guns, restless rifle syndrome. But for me, it's because I have the channel and I need to put suppressors on other guns to review them. So, and that's not even about the money because those aren't crazy expensive, like 70 or 80 bucks on Brownells, but I can't even they're just never in stock. They're just so sought after. So, yeah, really love this FAL. It's such a vibe. We have a Troy vertical grip on here. ACOG TA11, I believe it is, 3.5 to 35. Just a total vibe. Absolutely love it. Little Blue Force Gear sling. It's got the folding pair of stock on it. So it doesn't have retention, but this one actually does like lock in place. You got to push it down to get it out. So super cool gun. Absolutely a vibe. If you want to show up with the most unique gun, that's the one you pull up with right there. And just got that wow factor. Just got that beauty to it. All right. We'll go to this guy because even though this is the newer version of my tried and true trusty DMR, it's still probably still my go-to like DMR. So this is the HK MR762A4, and we did a full review on this. It's on the channel right now, so if you guys want to see that, you can go ahead and check it out. This is an absolutely phenomenal rifle. They lightened it up. It's a 16.5-inch 308, HK quality through and through. Absolutely. I just absolutely love this thing. If I had to pull one DMR off the shelf, if you told me I got to go shoot a 600-yard shot, my life depended on it, this is the rifle I'm picking up because I trust it. It is, yes, it is slightly different than the A1 version that I shot for years and I love, but it's pretty much the same thing, except it has all the improvements that we wish the A1 had, and that largely I paid for to upgrade the A1 to try to get it to here, but a lot of things just weren't available, like the adjustable gas block or the completely ambidextrous lower. These things were just not available to buy even to upgrade it from the A1 to this. So HK listened to the market. They brought out something that we all wanted. We all needed the A1, desperately needed this update, especially for the price they were asking for the A1. Now you can kind of justify, if you can justify spending $44,000 on any gun, this gun is definitely one that deserves it. So yeah, we'll just go from blast into ASCEND. We have the Huxworks Flow 762 Ti. Amazing can, super lightweight. The gun does not even realize it's there. We have the 100 Concepts light cap ruggedized on the HRT Tactical AWLS. So this is their advanced weapon light system. It's a super high candela, 90,000 candela light, and we just have a tail capper running on it. We have some offset irons from Magpul M-Bus Pros on the offset on the 45. Again, the Samson manufacturing vertical grip. You can pick these up at Midway using my link on the discounts page at rangedevo.com if you guys want to support the channel. So unfortunately, no discount code for Midway, but you can still support the channel if you guys want to pick up any Samson gear over there. And then OEM handguard, which is much improved. It resembles a lot closer the HK or the Guesley handguard rather for the 417. It has the cutout for the adjustable gas block. And then Badger Condition 1 mount. As you can tell, there's a theme here. If I like something, I tend to use the same thing over and over again. 100 Concepts ARD on the front, or Scope Cap Pro, whatever they call it. They now have a ruggedized version, which I may be reaching out to them to see if I could try it out, because this one is kind of loud. If you hear it, like opening and closing, it's pretty noisy, but it works. I really like it, and it lets a lot of light in, although it not going to give you away with your reflection there. 4 to 20 attacker, we talked about, illuminated with a Trimmer 3 reticle. Really a big fan of these scopes. And then we have the Walter Sobchak homework on both sides of the cap for different loads. and then ambidextrous charging handle, which is all OEM, full ambi gun, 2 QD slots in the back, and then a slimline HK stock, which these things are freaking amazing. I wish this buffer tube was a different size, because I'd probably just pull this stock off and use it on other guns while I'm reviewing them, because I'm such a big fan. But super accurate gun, very light recoiling, especially with the adjustable gas block now, and just a tack driver and HK quality. So absolutely love this thing. But you're gonna pay for it, that's for sure. Next on the list, and I guess we could just wrap it up since we're probably going on a pretty long time right now, and that's gonna be the LMT. And you guys might notice something a little bit different about this LMT now, is that this guy actually has the MRGGA barrel in it, which is not really the MRGGA barrel, it's a Ballistic Advantage, but it's been cut down by D. Wilson Manufacturing. We're gonna be reviewing this thing. I was actually kind of hoping and waiting to work with D. Wilson some more and get some stuff in and do a full video on D. Wilson products and conversions and whatnot. But this is a friend's barrel, so you know who you are. Thank you for letting me borrow it. I really appreciate it. This is a Ballistic Advantage 14.5. It's got a really short gas system. It is an absolute, like, it looks like a truck axle. It's such a thick barrel, it's unbelievable. It's got the rear muzzle device on here with the Energetic Armament Vox K2, which is an awesome little C300 can, and I guess it kind of fits the build for me. I'm like, okay, well, shorty 6.5 gun that can definitely still reach out, but in honor of keeping it a short package overall, put a short can on there. It looks great. And then, yeah, so we did group it just to zero it. It wasn't like the best conditions to group it, but we got like an 1.2 inch group with it. But I know my buddy I've witnessed him shoot this exact barrel in his LMT out to 1,000 yards, which is really cool. Obviously, the setup is somewhat minimalist right now. We have the D50 on here, the Magpul D50, so 50 round drum magazine for the 308. We have the LMT ambidextrous Mars lower, the upper, I forget what this is called, MRP, modular rail platform, whatever. Upper, this is the 12-inch upper, I think. No, this is the 13-inch upper, I think. It's the shorter of the two. There's like a 13-inch and a 15-inch. I know there's a 15-inch. Anyways, Steiner T6XI 3-18 optic, really good piece of glass. Actually, really love these locking turrets, really great. And then Radian Raptor charging handle, stock, everything else in the lower, and LMT stock as well. So that's pretty much it for this guy as well, guys. I mean, I know I just kind of breezed through a bunch of guns, didn't give that much detail on any of these. I just wanted to have like kind of a fun video for you guys today, kind of go through a bunch of guns in the collection, show off the wall, show off some of the guns, and just hear from you guys what your thoughts are. Like, what are your favorite guns in your collection? Out of the ones I showed, which one do you like best? Again, I like all of them, but if I had to pick some favorites, and this isn't even like pick them, if it's the end of the world, you can only take 4 guns. That's not what I did today. It was mostly just like, hey, based off of like, you know, everyone says they don't have a favorite child, but you do. It's like, we know you have a favorite gun, right? And so these are kind of the top ones that I really enjoy looking at. I enjoy shooting. I enjoy, you know, spending time with and upgrading. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to support the channel, rangedaybro.com for any merch, discounts page, affiliates page, all that good stuff, loadouts page. There's been some changes on a bunch of the loadouts from the loadouts page. So as these things become in a more permanent form factor, we'll update those for you guys. But for right now, we're just working one step at a time. Let's just put it that way. This redoing the studio was a ton of work. So big shout out to my buddy, Sweetie and Shoots on YouTube. He's my camera guy. Also, he's my friend first, but he also runs the camera for me, and he helped me put up this wall and spent the whole day. So big shout out to Ian. Go give him a follow. Also, give Energetic Armament a follow. I run their YouTube channel, so go ahead and show them some love, because you're showing me some love just on a different place. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Drink a lot of water. Christ is King. Love y'all. Take care.